Now, with regards to the clamping of the pieces, I wanted to show you two samples here. These are the first blocks that I tried, and I actually soaked these for 20 hours. I just put them in regular water, regular cold water, and I let them sit for 20 hours. Let them sit overnight. Started in the morning and then came back the next morning. And I want you to notice that even though these pieces were clamped back together until they were dry, until they seemed like they were dry. Actually, they were out in the sun for about 8 hours. As it turns out, I don't know if you can see this or not. I can't get too close. There's actually a crack right here now. There's a crack right there. That's the only crack that's on there. But you also notice that it's pretty obvious that if I put this edge there, you can see how much that protrudes over the edge, because this piece is now splayed out like that. This piece turned out okay, but this one did not. So this is garbage, because I mean, I'm trying to squeeze it right now and it won't squeeze back together. So this is garbage. This one right here, I put this one in hot water, and it was in hot water for about 40 minutes, using a salt and hot tray. And you can see that the edges of these are much better all the way around. There's a little tiny bit of, you can see a little tiny bit of warping on the bottom of this piece, and if you look really carefully, you can see that there's a tiny bit of warping on the top of this piece. But that's really insignificant, because these have the seat on the inside, so they're not going to go anywhere. It really doesn't matter. That's not important. But they came out much better, and these were clamped for about 3 hours, again out and left out in the sunshine yesterday. And what I'm doing now is I've got my glue pot. I got my glue pot set up, and it's at 142 degrees. What I was thinking was that, considering that the glue, the hot glue melts, or is in its most liquid state at 145 degrees, I thought, well, let me go ahead and try. I've got a block here that I'm going to be throwing in there shortly. And I'm going to watch it real carefully to see how long it takes before the sections start coming apart. Because what I'm thinking is that the less amount of time that these blocks spend in the water, the better. Because these are sealed on the outside, but they're not sealed except for that center section in there. They're not sealed on the inside, so they're going to have a natural tendency to warp because of the fact that they're sealed on one side, only sealed on one side. So the less time that the water penetrates the wood, the less chance there's going to be for warpage. So that's going to be my next experiment.